So this week I'm doing more in-depth predictions because this is UFC 187. It's going on in Las Vegas and there are two title fights. Do you know, part of me is surprised at this. I don't think that this has been quickly arranged. Daniel Cormier is fighting Anthony Johnson, and I think that it was already planned on this card to have Anthony Johnson fighting John Jones, because this is the card that I think he'd been removed from when he was stripped from his title. So I don't think this is a case of quick sort of planning, which makes me wonder why the UFC have put two title fights in one event, because they do so many events. There is now no excuse for not having one title event on one card. There's no need to have a championship fight being anywhere but the top of the card now. There's no excuse for that because they produce a card almost every week. So a bit disappointed in that, especially when I then went and looked to see who the second title is, and it's Chris Weidman, and I can't help thinking still that they don't think that he can carry a card, and that's why they have put these two at the top, which is ridiculous because John Jones isn't even on the card now. Anyway, I'm using the Sherdog as sort of statistics for these because they're more reliable and they tell me sort of more things, which is what I do for the numbered events. Now, so this is Daniel Cormier and Anthony Johnson, neither of which have the belt at the moment. In fact, Daniel Cormier has just fought for the belt and he lost. It was a unanimous decision against John Jones, but he is fighting again because having John Jones now out of the picture, he's fighting Anthony Johnson, so he's getting a second sort of go at this. You know, his backlog of people include Frank Mir, Roy Nelson, Patrick Cummings in recent sort of times. So the only name that he's fought really is Dan Henderson, and yes, he won that one, but then he was thrust against John Jones and came up short in the decision. His record is slightly better, it's 15-1, whereas Anthony Johnson has 4 losses, but his overall win total is 19. Now he is on a roll, he is really on a roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so he's on a 10-fight win streak. Of his last 4, 3 of them have been knockout finishes, basically, and only 1 decision. So he's doing really, really well. And the people that he's been fighting: Phil Davis, one of the Nog brothers, and Alexander Gustafsson, a lot higher in terms of calibre. I expect Anthony Johnson to win this one, though I wouldn't be surprised if it's a decision victory. I do expect him to win. What we can be absolutely sure of is that this is probably going to be a crowd pleaser on their feet. Both of them are stand-up strikers. Anthony Johnson seeded number 1, Daniel Cormier seeded number 3. I do expect Anthony Johnson to win that one. And for this match, this is the second championship bout. This is Chris Weidman and Vitor Belfort. Now, Chris, you should be aware of. Chris did really well because he has managed to beat Anderson Silva. And where are we? Nope, that's the wrong one. Do you know, I thought that looked a bit strange. There we are. He has managed to beat Anderson Silva twice, and he's defended his title since then. So, including acquisition, this will be his 4th title fight. He is not doing too badly at all. In fact, if you look at his record, it's a perfect record of 12. The one disadvantage is it's not so brilliant to have a champion who's got a perfect record and who has never tasted defeat. But never mind. Now, Vita Belfort is 24-10. He is a stand-up striker as well. So again, this is probably going to be a crowd pleaser with them both on their feet, whatever. What Vita Belfort doesn't manage to do at this moment in time is beat those people who are currently considered the best in the world. His losses include Anderson Silva and John Jones. I don't know where he is going to be if he should lose this one. Although he has had 3 wins in a row since then, all of them finishes, and they've all been finishes on the feet as well. Don't think he's going to do quite so well with Chris Weidman. Wouldn't be surprised again if this went all the way to decision. But I am expecting Chris to win this one as well. So there we are. That's my one for that. Again, yeah, it's going to be on their feet. In fact, Vita Belfort is put down here as being better on the feet. But I do think that Anderson Silva being one of the best on the feet in the whole world, and Chris beating him twice, I don't think you can necessarily say that just because you put him up a better striker, he's going to lose necessarily. The next bout on the card involves Donald Cerrone, who has done very well this year. In fact, if I am right, yes, he's already won 2 fights this year, although both of them have been decision. He's fighting John McDessie, who I do actually like. 13-3 is John McDessie, 27-6 for Donald Cerrone, because he really is a veteran in this sport, and he has a long win streak to prove it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's only the last 3 that were decision. Before then, he was getting submissions and TKOs as well. He again only tends to lose to the very top. He's lost to Anthony Pettis and Rafael dos Anjos, so I imagine it will be his experience alone here will win him this one. John McDessie, loss win. I'm going to go for Donald Cerrone here, and I think he's going to do quite well on the ground. That is his area of specialty, and John McDessie's possible weakness there as well. So I'm going to go and say I think this will probably be a Donald Cerrone win, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was by submission as well. This is a fascinating one. Andrei Arlovski is back. And he's fighting Travis Brown. Do you know, it would be easy for me to say that I think Andrei Arlovski will win this one just because of his history, etc. This is definitely going to be on their feet for this. But do you know, I think his time might have been and gone. I might eat my words. But I think that this could be Travis Brown, and he could get it on the feet as well. So there we are. And so next on our list is Joseph Benavidez and John Moraga. Now, Joseph Benavidez was huge in WEC. He has had a pretty good run ever since then, although I have to say he keeps losing to Demetrius Johnson. And so he's only now on a 2-fight win streak, and I'm not sure really of the calibre of those 2 other people, to be totally honest with you. whereas before his loss he was fighting reasonable calibers. John Moraga, I have had some taken some interest in before. Loss, win, win is his record. Again, a loss to Demetrius Johnson and a loss to John Dodson as well. I actually don't know who's going to win this one. Joseph is ranked number 2 and John is ranked number 5 on the UFC thing, if that sort of helps. They do seem quite evenly matched, to be honest with you. I think I might go for John Moraga here. Joseph Benavidez is the bigger name, has to be said. But I'm going to go for John Moraga and just see if he can make it. Because if he does, that is a good name to have under one's belt, certainly. The next fight on the card, and we're moving now towards the preliminaries, and we've got John Dodson and Zach Markovsky. 17-6 for John Dodson, ranked number 1, 19-5 for Zach, who is mainly a decision king here, whereas John Dodson is mostly known for being on his feet. Where are we? I think, you know, John Dodson was quite big in one of his toughs, one of the series of toughs, which I no longer follow, I have to admit. I might go for him on this one. Might go for him on that one. Dong Hyun Kim and Josh Berkman. See, Josh Berkman's been around quite a long time, to be honest with you. I fancy Dong Hyun Kim on that one, to be fair. Right, Uriah Hall and Rafael Natal. Rafael Natal has been on quite a roll, I think, recently. 19-6 is his record. Uriah Hall was huge on one of the toughs. It was one of the last toughs that I took any notice of, so it's been a while ago. And I believe that he came into the UFC and then didn't do quite so well. If I am correct, I could be wrong on that, but I had a feeling. Yeah, there you are. Yes, there you are. He lost his first 2 in the UFC before he started to pick up wins, and he's had a 3 fight win streak since. Rafael Natal, pretty sure that he has done quite good recently. Yes, 2 losses, then 2 wins. So this is going to really depend on whether Uriah Hall is sort of on the ball or not. You see, the one thing that Uriah is very good at here is on his feet, whereas Rafael is either submission or decision, next to no sort of winning on the feet at all. Not awfully sure. I think I might go for Rafael Natal on that, but that one could be very close, and I could be wrong on that. There is a women's fight on the card: Rose Namajunas and Nina Ansarov. Rose is seeded as number 4, so we'll go for her. And then there are the very, very low preliminaries. Mike Pyle and Colby Covington. Bit disappointing to see Mike Pyle so far down the ranking, if you ask me. because he used to fight quite high up on the card, and there's your reason. Win-loss is his recent record, and that's why he's been shoved down the card a little. Yes, because he was sort of fighting reasonable calibers. Don't know much about Colby Covington at all. He says here he's got a perfect record of 7, and almost all of them are submission wins. He has fought in the UFC twice before, but gone obviously completely underneath my radar. Having said that, Mike Pyle's area of expertise is submission, so if he's ever going to make a comeback, this would be the time. And with a 26-10 record, you would hope that this is a squash match for him. I'm going to say I think that he'll win that one by some sort of submission. Leo Kuntz and Islam Makavev, or something like that. A perfect 11 for him, and 17-1 for Leo. They are... don't know anything about either of these two, to be honest with you. I think I might go for Leo Kuntz on that. And the last one, in case you're wondering, that's Kuntz with a TZ. Justin Scoggins and Josh Sampo. I think this could be a very good match indeed. It's like waiting for dial-up all over again, isn't it? Right, 11-4 is Josh Sampo. He is in fact coming off 2 losses in a row. And I think Justin Scoggins is probably going up in the world, if I remember rightly. Oh no, he too is coming off 2 losses in a row. I remember his name from somewhere, and I don't know why. Anyway, so basically these are two fighters who have both lost 2 in a row, going up against each other. I think that it's Justin Scoggins who has faced the higher calibre, at least recently. I think, however, based on that, I shall probably... This is going to be stand-up versus ground with Josh Sampo on the ground. He's going to want... I might go for Josh Sampo on this one, but again, that's an iffy one that I wouldn't be so sure of. And those are my predictions for UFC, whatever number it was. I do apologise, I've forgotten. I've pressed the little X in a box already, so there we are.